Patience is the ability to stay calm in the face of adversity, waiting, frustration, or suffering, along with other character strengths like gratitude, forgiveness, and generosity. In a nutshell, patience is all about putting up with something you'd rather not, with calm acceptance. Patience is a commendable virtue, yet its required endurance is difficult to master for many of us. Struggling to see the good that can come from a time of waiting or uncertainty? These quotes about patience are sure to encourage you. In a nutshell, patience is all about putting up with something you'd rather not, with calm acceptance. Let's go to the deep in video with a kind request. Please subscribe my channel. You must first have a lot of patience to learn to have patience. Great works are performed not by strength but by perseverance. Patience is the ability to calmly wait or endure hardship without complaint or anger. It usually follows that one's patience will be rewarded in some way, with a positive outcome or objective reasoning or peace of mind. Patience will achieve more than force. There's something about patience that God deems necessary for our life in the age to come. And so, whether through agriculture or discipleship or bodily development or eschatology or procreation, God makes us wait. Patience and perseverance have a magical effect, before which difficulties disappear and obstacles vanish. That light bulb moment you had, the whole world didn't have it with you. Teach, speak, lead with the grace and patience you needed yesterday. Be patient and understanding. Life is too short to be vengeful or malicious. A stumble may prevent a fall. Endurance is patience concentrated. Even a snail will eventually reach its destination. There is no road too long to the man who advances deliberately and without undue haste. There are no honors too distant to the man who prepares himself for them with patience. How many a man has thrown up his hands at a time when a little more effort, a little more patience would have achieved success. Joy and meaning can be found amid in-between times. Patience serves as a protection against wrongs, as clothes do against cold. For if you put on more clothes as the cold increases, it will have no power to hurt you. So in like manner you must grow in patience when you meet with great wrongs, and they will be powerless to vex your mind. Fear both the heat and the cold of your heart, and try to have patience if you can. Sometimes things aren't clear right away. That's where you need to be patient and persevere and see where things lead. One moment of patience may ward off great disaster. One moment of impatience may ruin a whole life. Whoever is out of patience is out of possession of their soul. The two most powerful warriors are patience and time. Patience is not simply the ability to wait, it's how we behave while we're waiting. The more you know yourself, the more patience you have for what you see in others. Two things define you: your patience when you have nothing, and your attitude when you have everything. Hope is patience with the lamp lit. How poor are they that have not patience? What wound did ever heal but by degrees? Each life is made up of mistakes and learning, waiting and growing, practicing patience and being persistent. Rivers know this. There is no hurry. We shall get there someday. Life is full of challenges, but I always have the 3 Ps: passion, patience, and persistence. And the 4th one is pizza. Perfection is attained by slow degrees. She requires the hand of time. Hope begins in the dark, the stubborn hope that if you just show up and try to do the right thing, the dawn will come. You wait and watch and work. You don't give up. Toleration is the greatest gift of the mind. It requires the same effort of the brain that it takes to balance oneself on a bicycle. Faith is not simply a patience that passively suffers until the storm is past. Rather, it is a spirit that bears things, with resignations, yes, but above all, with blazing, serene hope. I have just 3 things to teach: simplicity, patience, compassion. These 3 are your greatest treasures. It is strange that the years teach us patience, that the shorter our time, the greater our capacity for waiting. The greatest power is often simple patience. According to Scripture, patience isn't just a virtue, but a mission of love. The practice of patience toward one another, the overlooking of one another's defects, and the bearing of one another's burdens is the most elementary condition of all human and social activity in the family, in the professions and in society. Trees that are slow to grow bear the best fruit. The key to everything is patience. You get the chicken by hatching the egg, not by smashing it. Face-to-face conversation unfolds slowly. It teaches patience. Slow and steady wins the race. Tolerance, compromise, understanding, acceptance, patience. I want those all to be very sharp tools in my shed. Patience is a conquering virtue. Patience is waiting, not passively waiting. That is laziness. But to keep going when the going is hard and slow, that is patience. Endurance is nobler than strength and patience than beauty. Our real blessings often appear to us in the shape of pains, losses, and disappointments, but let us have patience, and we soon shall see them in their proper figures. Patience is the support of weakness, impatience the ruin of strength. Genius is eternal patience. Patience gives your spouse permission to be human. It understands that everyone fails. When a mistake is made, it chooses to give them more time that they deserve to correct it. It gives you the ability to hold on during the rough times in your relationship, rather than bailing out under the pressure. Come what may, all bad fortune is to be conquered by endurance. Patience, that blending of moral courage with physical timidity. This is one more piece of advice I have for you. Don't get impatient. Even if things are so tangled up you can't do anything, don't get desperate or blow a fuse and start yanking on one particular thread before it's ready to come undone. You have to realize it's going to be a long process and that you'll work on things slowly, one at a time. Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope. Learning patience can be a difficult experience, but once conquered, you will find life is easier. Patience is the most necessary quality for business. Many a man would rather you heard his story than grant his request. Humility is attentive patience. Water does not resist. Water flows. When you plunge your hand into it, all you feel is a caress. Water is not a solid wall. It will not stop you. But water always goes where it wants to go, and nothing in the end can stand against it. Water is patient. Dripping water wears away a stone. Remember that, my child. Remember you are half water. If you can't go through an obstacle, go around it. Water does. Patience is the art of hoping. If you want to see someone grow and change, don't push them or pressure them or passive-aggressively manipulate them. Wait on them. Give them space while you pray for them, instead of trying to force the right choice. Let them make mistakes, even if it's painful, and you know they might get hurt. Suffer with them, instead of walking away when they don't take your advice. To lose patience is to lose the battle. All men commend patience, although few are willing to practice it. When it comes to patience, we don't have to change old habits. We can build better ones. When I was 20, I thought I was 30, but I was so far from it. When you're young, you want everything to happen now. As you mature, you can look back and see all the great things you achieved with time and patience. My dad said to me, "Work hard and be patient." It was the best advice he ever gave me. You have to put the hours in. No, I will be the pattern of all patience. I will say nothing. I am extraordinarily patient, provided I get my own way in the end. We could never learn to be brave and patient if there were only joy in the world. Never cut a tree down in the wintertime. Never make a negative decision in the low time. Never make your most important decisions when you are in your worst moods. Wait. Be patient. The storm will pass. the spring will come. Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. Whoever is patient has great understanding, but one who is quick-tempered displays folly. Good books contain ideas that are beautiful or true or challenging. They raise subjects we may not think to discuss with a child in our everyday conversations, and they can cast everyday situations in a new light. Frodo's perseverance in Mordor can instruct our kids in how to approach math or temptation. It is far better to endure patiently a smart which nobody feels but yourself, than to commit a hasty action whose evil consequences will extend to all connected with you. Patience attracts happiness. It brings near that which is far. Patience is an act of love every day. When you are patient with your toddlers, or your husband who can't remember to put the toilet seat down. Knowing trees, I understand the meaning of patience. Knowing grass, I can appreciate persistence. The problem is that contemporary people think life is all about finding happiness. We decide what conditions will make us happy, and then we work to bring those conditions about. To live for happiness means that you are trying to get something out of life. But when suffering comes along, it takes the conditions for happiness away, and so suffering destroys all your reason to keep living. But to live for meaning means not that you try to get something out of life, but rather that life expects something from us. In other words, you have meaning only when there is something in life more important than your own personal freedom and happiness, something for which you are glad to sacrifice your happiness. Everyone wants a revolution. No one wants to do the dishes. Often life won't be gentle with you, so you have to become gentle with yourself. Of all the hardships a person had to face, none was more punishing than the simple act of waiting. Things may come to those who wait, but only the things left by those who hustle. When you're feeling overwhelmed or your body is giving you signs that you're overdoing it, stop, breathe, and remember one thing. Everything can wait. Fall in love with you. Love, support, validate, and nourish a relationship with yourself. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing. When people are waiting, they are bad judges of time, and every half minute seems like 5. Have patience with everything that remains unsolved in your heart. Waiting is a sustained effort to stay focused on God through prayer and belief. I do not believe that sheer suffering teaches. If suffering alone taught, all the world would be wise, since everyone suffers. To suffering must be added mourning, understanding, patience, love, openness, and the willingness to remain vulnerable. Passion has little to do with euphoria and everything to do with patience. It is not about feeling good. It is about endurance. Well, I must endure the presence of a few caterpillars if I wish to become acquainted with the butterflies. Only through an inner spiritual transformation do we gain the strength to fight vigorously the evils of the world in a humble and loving spirit. The transformed nonconformist, moreover, never uses the passive sort of patience as an exercise to do nothing. We were planting seeds of change, the fruit of which we might never see. We had to be patient. Sometimes if you have a difficult decision to make, just stall until the answer presents itself. God is very patient with us when we are desperate. Pour out your soul to Him. There's a humility in understanding that, well, the world does not revolve around me. Perhaps you will gradually, without even noticing it, find yourself experiencing the answer, some distant day. The seed of suffering in you may be strong, but don't wait until you have no more suffering before allowing yourself to be happy. The waiting place, for people just waiting. Waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or the waiting around for a yes or no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. All your life you wait, and then it finally comes, and are you ready? Sometimes the trick to getting the best of a situation was just to wait. People will show you their good side. Almost everybody has a good side. Just keep waiting. It will come out. The singular mark of patience is not endurance or fortitude, but hope. To be impatient is to live without hope. Between the wish and the thing, the world lies waiting.